Somewhere. The old harmonic disappearing
happy days.
into the ether.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hello,
Morning,
everyone.
Everybody.
Good morning.
Evening, afternoon.
Hi, everyone.
Nice to play a baritone. I only play them when I come here. I haven't got one in the house. I need to get one.
Yeah, you should get one.
It's fun.
Depth is just.
It's mad.
It's quite inspiring. The old baritone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit different to.
Very different to this. Yeah.
What was it date to you, by the way?
Today, Chris and Tim, we are discussing all about the artist series.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's our topic
Good.
for today.
great.
Yeah, and of course we have three examples here. Very different though. Big baritone, lovely parlour, which is actually my parlour,
Yeah.
and the lovely classical,
Cedar,
beautiful cedar top.
AC65.
Sounds wonderful.
Sorry for all the classical guitar players out there who just watch me play the plectrum. But it's just one of those things.
It's people throwing things on the computer. A plectrum on
Small
a classical
Tim,
guitar.
doll-sized Tim's stinging.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this guitar. Never played it before. It's fresh out the box. It's great. It's really nice, actually. I thought it must have been around for a while. One of yours or something, but
Sounds pretty good though, right?
it sounds great.
So, projection, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I
Cedar.
like. Cedar. I love a cedar.
You are a Cedar fan.
Mahogany, 65.
Yeah, correct.
Ah,
Laminate mahogany, right?
It is laminate mahogany.
Because it's the artist series.
Artist series.
as they all are, right? Solid tops.
So artist series are all solid tops. Everything, we have Regent series, which are sort of high quality. Entry level line, which is all laminated. And then it's artist, and then we go up to artist elite, Masterworks elite, Yairi. Everything is covered. I can't remember how many models we have. It's like 140 or something.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. Artist series was the first series we really, since I've been involved, that we really dug deep and got really into design. Obviously, we were 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever it was, at Yairi, we were doing a lot of design, but we're bringing it into more affordable instruments. It started with an AD60, actually. AD60 was the guitar that I started on just to try and get it sounding good, and then it just blossomed from there. But we decided that Artist series, it's like it should be a guitar for everybody in Artist series. So if you look at it, it's so broad. There's classicals, parlors, dreadnoughts, jumbos, baritones, OMs,
12 string.
12 string,
8 string.
8 string.
Yeah.
There's Sitka, cedar, mahogany tops. Sides is maple, walnut, mahogany. No rosewood yet, that's probably coming back. So there is literally sort of a guitar for everybody in Artist series. Now our approach was, let's make a series that's got something for everybody. So if somebody comes into a store and says, I want this, let Artist series be that guitar. So it's properly designed, sounds great, because you can get a lot out of a solid top. And we'll just make it really broad. And it helped us in the beginning when Alvarez was sort of coming back. This series kind of got us into more places that some competitors weren't offering. Like, nobody had a baritone back then, not really a good sounding, affordable one. So it really brought lots of attention back to the brand, which was great.
That guitar's that's my own baritone. We've used it in videos before, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. I don't actually know how much it is, but it's for it doesn't matter because it just sounds great. Use it all the time.
And the parlors as well,
Oh, it's superb. I mean, I talk about this all the time, don't I?
Yeah.
But I've got the silk and steel on this, which is 4 classical strings,
Yeah.
4 nylon, and then 2.
so
I was
easy to
unsure,
play, isn't it?
but yeah, you were saying before, it's like butter, right?
Yeah.
It's great, and I think I'm happy with this configuration. But this is my in the house guitar, but it always just feels great. It's inspiring. And, during the day we're recording Yairis, and but I get home and I'd never feel like I've gone down a level or anything. It doesn't.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
But the thing with some of our writing that we put out on the website and other stuff, just because a guitar has a solid top doesn't mean, you stick a solid top on. So a solid top is when it's a solid piece of wood. There's 2 bits to it, so there's 2 pieces, and if it's done correctly, it's book match. So it's 1 piece cut down the middle, and then it's open, it's butterfly like that. So you should have exactly the same grain pattern on both sides of the top. But just because you stick a solid top on a guitar, it doesn't necessarily go, oh, ping, great sounding guitar now. You have to build the guitar, design it to get the energy out what a solid top can bring. If you overbuild it, it's just going to dampen the sound, tighten it up, and you could make a laminated guitar sound better than a solid top guitar if you don't allow it to vibrate and create the energy that it's able to do, basically.
When you say overbuild, are you talking about in terms of bracing or
Yeah, thickness of the top,
Right.
mass of the braces. It's funny, so if you look at pre-war guitars or even guitars from the 60s, there's a whole variation of approach. Many of them sound good, but I think when we went into first mass producing guitars, so say late 70s into the 80s, which was more Korean made. Actually, Japan was 60s, late 60s, 70s. Then it went to Korea, then maybe Taiwan and then China. So it's sort of moved following trends in manufacturing. In those 70s and 80s guitars, to me, most of the ones I play which were mass produced are very overbuilt. The bracing's very heavy, the tops are thick. You know, they have that sound to them, and since there's been more knowledge spread around guitar making and reviewing all the guitars and why do they sound good and all that sort of stuff, sort of, you know, and we're in this group as well, is that mass-produced guitars have become more designed and they sound better. Generally, you're cutting the tops thinner, which means you have to have a good quality tops, and you're taking mass out the braces, so the braces become lighter, there's more scalloping goes on. There's just more thought into it, more design. Because obviously, if you overbuild a guitar, you're taking some of the risk out of change,
yeah?
right? And you don't
That
want
makes
change.
sense.
So it's easy, stick massive struts underneath the top, keep the top thick, and it's probably going to be all right.
Never move.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound very good, and it's not really a great player experience. In Artist Series, they're very much designed. The tops are, we have all different thicknesses of tops in Artist Series. So mahogany is different to cedar to spruce. And then, you know, we have several bracing patterns just for Artist Series. And I think we probably go a little bit further than some on that. But as the line has sort of got broader, we became very good at like small batch manufacturing. And now we make lots of guitars, but we kept that kind of culture that we're very versatile and making lots of different types of things in good numbers because we kind of have grown that way. In manufacturing, the more variables you have, the harder it is, especially in mass production. You know, to have lots of variety, but keep the quality high is something you have to kind of learn, and you know, you need systems in place and all that sort of stuff. So like an AD60, to me, I travelled the world with an AD60 to dozens, if not hundreds, of music stores over the years, and that was the guitar I travelled with. I didn't travel with a Masterworks, I travelled with an Artist Series, because an AD60 to me sounds so good for what you pay for it. Like I just used to walk in and I used to give it to the guy in the store and say, what do you think of that? It's like, oh, great, how much is that?
They're great, really are. And the AD30 and the AD60.
Yeah.
Played both of them in demos, I think, and there's some really good stuff.
At the Artist Series price point, there's as much design in the manufacturing processes. In fact, there's more than there is in the guitar. Obviously, we think about the bracing, the scalloping, the top thickness, and curing all that wood and keeping and humidity levels right throughout the build. But doing that every day, there's a lot of thought has to go into that. So every guitar comes out pristine. You know,
I never really thought about how many different shapes and sizes and models there are within that range, particularly.
Yeah.
What's the reason for no rosewood yet? Does rosewood not sit well at being a laminate, or is it?
We used to, but when, you know, this whole CITES thing, when they restricted rosewood in 2017, just coming back from that, so we started using solid rosewood in Masterworks. And at some stage, we'll probably bring it back in Artist Series, but at the moment we've kept with walnut. It's working really nicely for us.
I didn't know it book matched. This is, I don't know, maybe he's taking something too literally. I always thought that it meant someone had a book with all the pieces of wood in.
Yeah.
And they're like, chose that bit and put it together. But is it, so they cut it?
So it's split and then...
Cut
so you have
half a top and then cut it down the middle and open it
correct.
like a book.
So like a book. The way you tell a book match top is, if you look very closely, the grain on both sides should mirror each other. So if you have, say, a darker mineral line down one side, usually you'll see it on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's when you know it should be on, you know, the quarter sawn. Book match, it opens like a book, it should be the same on each side.
And everything with the Artist Series is book matched as well. And
Everything's Artist Series. I think I said before, we hand select all of our tops. A couple of lads who spend most of their time selecting tops selecting wood from lots of thousands and thousands of pieces.
So if the Artist Series is like, let's say it's like roughly, I don't know, half the price of the Masterworks, what's the difference?
It's the quality of the notes and the sound and the depth. You know, from that, from the solid backs and sides, I think we've discussed before, you're just getting that
Yes.
rounder, higher quality, more woodier kind of. There's more air in these guitars.
Yeah.
There's more strength in Masterworks, and it's a more complete note. I always say that. It's hard to describe, but it's more robust. Making, you got to spend a lot more time and care on Masterworks, because you can bend laminated wood really quick, and the fallout from bending is virtually zero. If you bend, especially hardwood like rosewood, you've got to take your time bending that. You know, these are really tight curves.
Yeah,
the radiuses are really sharp.
Yeah.
You've got a piece of rosewood which is, 3 mil thick. It's really strong. So bending that in machines, you've got to take your time. Steam is used, all that sort of stuff, and you do still get fallout, and sometimes you get veins. We call them veins, and if you go too quick, mahogany shows it. Or if the wood is not quite the quality that you couldn't see when you buy it. Sometimes when you're processing wood, things come out where you didn't see when it pre-processed. You've got to slow down making Masterworks, which also adds to the cost, obviously.
So if you've got like an idea, so who's the artist series aimed at? So Masterworks is aimed at a certain group, I suppose, and the artist series is aimed at a certain group.
Anybody who's starting to play guitar, artist series is for them. Or if you're traveling, say you have a Masterworks, but you're traveling, or you're going to buskers nights, or you're going to the beach, or you don't want to take your favourite guitar. I think a second guitar for like $300 or £250 or whatever it might be. I think to have a great sounding instrument, I think probably that's where our strongest kind of foot forward is, to be able to deliver that.
I think the solid top over the, I don't mean to I don't know, I mentioned it a few times, but that Martin that I got when I was 17 that I just never got along with. Funny enough, I've got a friend who has that Martin now, who loves it.
Yeah.
But it was a solid top, laminate back and sides range that they did in we're talking 2009 here. I wish I could have had an AD60 then, rather than that guitar that was kind of in the Masterworks price point when I bought it, because I like that guitar. I actually feel like was an inhibitor to playing well for quite a long time, and with the AD60 or that kind of artist series range, I think it just, I don't know, you could gig with them. There's no reason why you couldn't.
I think that's a good point. It's if the guitar plays well, you're going to become a better guitar player. You're going to be inspired to pick it up, and I mean play well, not just sound, but it's easy to play, and you're not fighting with the action and all that sort of stuff. So the setup's got to be right, but it's resonant, and you're engaged. Then you're bound to get better. And I think that's the responsibility. I think we've said it before. The responsibility of a guitar maker is make something that helps people become better players.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got the player in mind, you're not doing your job properly. It's not just about spitting out products. These aren't products or SKUs or parts. They're musical instruments. Hopefully, us and many other people, we keep that firmly in mind.
Is the the electric Alvarez, was that not a series? Because it's an A.
The electric series.
Was that an artist or?
It was just Alvarez Archtop AAT.
Ah, right, okay.
Genius, right? We did make those Archtops in our solid top factory. We would love to get back to that one day. It seems those Archtops are really getting quite in demand now.
I mean, I just think if I keep mentioning it, you might start building it. I mean, I've got one, but I use it all the time. But if I keep mentioning it, but I wasn't sure if that was artists. It just came to us now. But
we couldn't make them. We were making anyway. It was a efficiency thing, but hopefully we'll get back to making them one day. Yeah, but artist series is like something for everybody. Solid top. They're designed. They're really resonant for a solid top series, and there's virtually every shape and wood configuration you can possibly think of.
You get a lot for your money.
Yeah.
An awful lot for your money.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.